everybody. Welcome back to another episode of me reading a book, and its name is The Cool Story Behind Snow. So let's get started with our story. Ready to read The Cool Story Behind Snow by meteorologist Joe Rao. Chapter 1. Water, water everywhere. Has this ever happened to you? It's early on a winter's morning. You slowly open your eyes and look at your alarm clock. It's almost time to get ready for school. Suddenly, your mom comes into the bedroom. "You can stay in bed," she says. "There's no school today." "Why?" you ask. Look out your window and you'll see yourself. For yourself, she says. You raise the window shade and see snow. Everything is covered in a thick blanket of white, and more snow is falling hard and fast. It's a snow day. Gazing out your window at this amazing wintry scene, you suddenly have a thought. Just what makes it snow? To better understand what makes it snow, you first need to know that about 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered by water, and the oceans hold almost all of Earth's water. 97% of Earth's water comes from the oceans and is salt water. The other 3% is freshwater and is found in rivers, freshwater lakes, and swamps, as well as locked in frozen form within polar ice caps and glaciers. Water is constantly evaporating from the oceans, rising into the atmosphere as vapor and turning into very tiny water droplets that form clouds. This is part of the water cycle. Any kind of water that falls from the sky, like rain, sleet, ice, or snow, is called precipitation. Every cloud is made up of water droplets, or if the temperature is below freezing, ice crystals. The water droplets that form clouds are very tiny. How tiny? Well, it takes about 1,000,000 cloud droplets to just make one single raindrop. So it takes billions of droplets to form one cloud. On their own, water droplets and dust particles simply float inside a cloud because they're so tiny and light. But when there are countless millions of them, the droplets collide with one another, clinging together and becoming bigger and heavier. Eventually, the cloud becomes too heavy, and gravity causes the water droplets to fall back to Earth as rain. Chapter 2. Colliding Crystals. Now we know how we get raindrops. But how do we get snowflakes? Floating high in our atmosphere are very tiny particles of dust. When the temperature inside a cloud falls below freezing, water vapor collects on these dust particles to form tiny ice crystals. The shapes of the 6 arms of crystals form as water vapor freezes onto the ice crystals. These shapes can be plates, columns, and needles. Now, remember how a raindrop forms? Countless numbers of tiny water droplets cling together to make a single raindrop. Now, imagine countless numbers of ice crystals colliding with water vapor, partially melting on contact and refreezing on their way down to the ground. In the end, we get a snowflake, which always has 6 sides. The end result of countless crashes with other tiny shattered and melted ice crystals. Why does a snowflake always have 6 sides? Well, the water molecules that make up an ice crystal are arranged in a special way so that they always form 6-sided patterns called hexagons. As they fall to the ground, the various parts of a snowflake encounter slightly different temperatures and different amounts of water vapor, determining the shape that forms as the crystal grows. And because of this, no 2 snowflakes can ever be exactly alike. Snowflakes in the summer? Snow way! Have you ever been caught in a sudden summer shower or a thunderstorm? If you have, remember that the clouds in sudden rainstorms can rise very high into the sky. Sometimes over 50,000 feet. The tops of these clouds are so cold they can contain a mixture of both ice crystals and supercooled water. This supercooled water is made up of droplets of water that freeze quickly. As the droplets fall through the cloud, ice crystals rapidly form snowflakes. But as these flakes reach the lower part of the cloud where the temperature is warmer, they melt and turn into rain. So the next time you get caught in a drenching summer rainstorm, remember that the rain pouring on your head may have started out of snow. Of course, during the winter, the air is cold enough for snowflakes to make it all the way down to the ground. Fabulous flakes! Snowflakes are made of water. When the temperature is several degrees below freezing, you can get a lot of snow from just 1 inch of rain. But this can change depending on other conditions. When it gets very cold, snow can become puffy and fluffy, almost almost a fine powder, like sand or sugar. That's the kind of snow that doesn't make a good snowball or snowman. With puffy snow, you might get as much 20 or even 25 inches of snow out of a single inch of rain. But when the temperature is much milder and hovers within a degree or two of the freezing mark, snow tends to be slushier and mushier. These snowflakes become larger, the size of nickels and quarters. They are also much heavier and more difficult to push around with a shovel. Out of 1 inch of rain, you might get only about 5 inches of soggy, wet snow. Why do lower temperatures create lighter, fluffier snow? The surrounding air can't hold as much moisture when it is cold. This means at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, air can hold more water than when it is colder out. So snowflakes are larger and heavier because they contain more water at colder temperatures, the snow contains less water and the flakes are smaller, puffier, and lighter. So what's the best weather for building a snowman? Somewhere in between the two extremes. The temperature should be a bit below freezing, but not too cold, or else it will turn out to be the puffy sugar snow. Now, here's a riddle. What do you call an old snowman? That's right. The correct answer is actually water. Okay, that's the end for part 1. Thank you for watching part 1 of the cool story behind snow. And if you like my video, click to subscribe and don't forget to click the little bell so you can watch more of my videos. And in the next part, we're gonna have a pop quiz to see how much we've learned. And see you in part 2.